Wealth is defined as my legacy being legendary, hereditary. I know you see me feeding my seeds, killing these weeds with determination, germination, purpose never vacant. I said at elevation, meditation, upward, universal guidance, most high to provide the substance, trying to reside within abundance. Lunches, dinner, and breakfast. The feeling of my stomach's essential, easing the hunger pains is the issue. So focus.
Go, go, get it, go, 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 go, get it, go, go, get it, go.
Yo, welcome back. This is now episode 11. This is Big Boxx
Lil Boxx,
and we here again with my lovely wife, Joi. Okay, all right, and just moving forward, babe. As far as him being an infant and a toddler, like, what was that like?
It was great. He was very, well, I'll start with being an infant. When we first brought him home, he was a good baby. He was happy and all of that. We did go through a period though, early on, so not long after we brought him home, where it was kind of a difficult little spot where we were trying to basically learn each other, getting to know his patterns and stuff. So early on, probably the first few weeks, couple months or so, it was difficult figuring out a rhythm. And I think that's pretty standard for any household. With the first child, and we weren't used to it. Both of us are very familiar and used to having babies and children around, but it's a totally different situation when you have your own. So that period, that was maybe the first 2 months or so.
Okay.
First 2 or 3 months, where it was a little bit difficult figuring out. I was nursing him. I was gung-ho about nursing him and not doing formula to start off with, and so that initial process of getting him to latch on was difficult. Even though I went through classes, even though I had extra help after he was born, it was still difficult to get the right rhythm for him. So that was a struggle the first couple of months, and then once we got the hang of that, then it was a struggle to get his sleep pattern.
Yeah.
And that was something, to be honest, I guess I never mastered when it comes to him, because he would be up and we couldn't get him to sleep. I was always afraid, and this is just something strange in my mind probably. I was always afraid that I wasn't feeding him enough. So I would nurse him probably way too much.
Yeah.
And so then our sleep patterns were off. Your work schedule, my work schedule, like all of that was out of whack.
Yeah.
And so getting him to sleep, the sleeping and the eating was the biggest problem. So there were nights where we would be literally up all night.
And then he'd go to sleep when we have to go do what we have to do in the morning.
Like, I couldn't lay him down in a crib.
Yeah.
That was not even a thing. We had a bassinet. He would not sleep in the bassinet. I even had one of those little mattress pads for infants that go in the parent's bed, and he wasn't even having that.
Yeah.
Like, he literally I had to be holding him all night.
That dude used to sleep wild. I used to sleep wild.
Why did you call me an infant?
When you were a baby. You were an infant.
So you drawing and you ain't paying attention to what's going on with us.
An infant is a baby when you were first born.
And that's so. What do you remember mostly about the stories we told you when you was a baby or when you was a toddler? What do you hear? What do you remember us talking about the most when we're talking about you when you was small, when you was a baby or toddler? What do you remember about it?
Well, that's basically your question. Basically, I do remember the time Miss Woods was telling you that I was autistic, but you guys didn't believe her because you guys thought you knew that I wasn't, and your theory that I wasn't autistic was not very respectful though. It wasn't respectful.
Okay, we'll get to those times. That's mostly when you're school age. We're talking more so the stories you heard about us talking about you when you were an infant or when you were a baby.
A baby.
That's
Do you
what I'm
remember
saying.
those
Like,
stories?
Do you remember any of those stories? And is it relative to your thinking or development or processes now? Not before you even went to school. Stuff that we talked to you about before you even went to school. Like, we know you don't remember when you was a toddler or when you were a baby, like that young, before you even before Vonnie was even born. Those days. You don't remember none of the stories we talked to you about that, or you heard from family members or anything?
To be honest, I don't remember.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with
That's
that.
okay.
We know you're not old enough to do that. We just want to know if you paid attention to when we talk about you, talk about those days. Okay.
Yeah.
And during that time, did you notice any type of neurodivergence in him, babe?
No.
When you really think about it.
No, I did not. Even hindsight, looking back on the first year, I can't say that, oh, there was something I could point to. Not at all. To be honest, he was fast forwarding through the first year, he was very, in my opinion, advanced.
Yeah.
Like he matured and grasped things very quickly. Very quickly.
Holding his bottle. I remember him holding the bottle at like 4 months, something like that.
Early on.
Yeah.
Even though he refused to drink out of it.
Yeah, he wouldn't drink. He would grip.
To be clear.
Well, he would hold anything.
He would hold. He had a very strong grip.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't an
hold
issue.
on anything.
But he refused to drink out of a bottle.
He chewed. Now he chewed on the nipple.
Yeah.
That was his teething was. I remember teething was real serious with him.
Yes. That was
I
tough.
didn't know you guys were thinking me advanced.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talked about this before.
You were advanced.
Yeah.
Because you would, and then when you did breastfeed, you was like a little pit bull. I used to make the noise and all that.
So they're describing basically advanced or superiorly advanced.
No, not superior.
You were
Ain't nothing about
advanced.
being superior. The only thing superior is Yahshua
Advanced.
Christ.
Yes.
Ain't nothing else is superior. You were advanced though.
So yeah, he was eating. He had started to eat a little bit of table food, but was still nursing. So it was difficult because I couldn't go nowhere.
True.
I couldn't go anywhere because he wouldn't take a bottle. He wouldn't. It wasn't until he started eating table food for real, that we could go possibly. But once he was thirsty, that was the end of that. That was tough. So I didn't pick up on anything at all. And even looking back, I don't see where there were any signs at that point.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he was we started his locks when he was 3, I believe. Yeah, he was a toddler.
He was maybe 2.
Maybe 2?
Because I started mine too, so he was probably 2.
So 2.
Yeah.
So when we started his locks, that's when I started seeing signs of him being hypersensitive.
Yeah.
But that was the only sign, in which obviously now I know that's due to being on the spectrum, but prior to, I just assumed he was just tender-headed. And I was tender-headed as a child, so I just assumed he was an extreme case because he did not like his hair getting combed.
Yeah.
Period. And he would scream, and that was really tough doing his hair. But that was the only thing. Everything else he was super advanced in.
All right. And that's going to be wrapped up for episode 2. This is Big Boxx.
Lil Boxx.
And this is Kindness University of Autism. We catch you on the next episode. One life, one love, one God. Remember to be royalty.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Boxx-A-Million.
Boxx-A-Million. Boxx-A-Million.
Mighty Lion of Judah.